former Alabama All-American linebacker Rashaan Evans is with us for the second installment of his audio draft diary from down in Miami, Florida, training for the Combine and the draft. How you doing, Rashaan?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Doing very well. Good to have you back with us, man. Everybody enjoyed last week's segment, and this week I want to get into some of the training aspects. Of course, first, and we mentioned last week, you were Rosenhaus Sports, Drew Rosenhaus, very famous NFL and sports agent. How did you come to the decision? I know that's a big deal when you're going to be a first-round draft pick, signing an agent. How did you come to the conclusion that you wanted to go with Rosenhaus Sports? What went into that decision?
Well, really, man, I just kind of had to, lay out all my options and really just go with somebody who was, best fit for me, who could, help me expand my brand and also make me the best player that I could possibly be, man. And, Drew Rosenhaus just was a no-brainer, man.
Yeah, he's got a great track record. We talked about last week, you decided to skip the Senior Bowl, get right down to South Florida and start training. I know that you've got a pretty in-depth, intense training program that you're going through every day to get ready for the Combine. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's pretty intense, man. I'm waking up at 6 o'clock every morning, just getting right at it, man. All the way down from the way I eat. Getting up at 6 o'clock, eating all the right foods that I could possibly eat, so I'm able to train at a high level. Be implementing all of the massages and the different rehab techniques that I'm using to, get my body in tip-top shape to be able to run as fast as I possibly can, to be able to, do all the things that I want to do on the field. All of that stuff goes into play whenever I, get out on the field once I train here, man. So, but other than that, man, I've enjoyed the whole process, and, I'm loving it, just being down here and being in this beautiful weather.
Yeah, it's not that big of an adjustment for you because you've taken care of your body all through high school and college. And of course, here at Alabama, you had a great nutrition program with Amy Bragg, great conditioning and strength program with Scott Cochran. I'm assuming they set you up pretty well for what you're doing now.
They did. That's one of the crazy things about it, the fact that I'm able to train, at a high level and be able to do it so fast. As soon as I got from Tuscaloosa, I was right there, being able to get back on the field. So that kind of just goes to show you that, kudos to the training staff that, they did a phenomenal job with me and my training. And, that just pays dividends.
Yeah, and I know you're working hard. Today is National Signing Day. We talked last week about the big decision you made coming out of Auburn High School to spurn your parents' alma mater, Auburn, to go to Alabama. Now it's National Signing Day again, and I'm just thinking, we mentioned the Combine, 14 former players, 13 of your teammates plus you all invited to the NFL Combine. That's 3 more than any other school. I imagine that's a pretty good recruiting pitch for Nick Saban to use. Hey, we always talk about getting to the NFL. We got 14 of our guys going to the Combine. Man, that's impressive.
It is. Coach Saban does it each and every year, and it just kind of shows you the type of coach, the type of caliber coach he is. He's done it at a consistent level and at a high level at that. The fact that he's able to constantly get guys to be able to go as high as they are, and not only that, but be able to play at a high level once they get to the NFL. It just kind of shows you the caliber of program that he runs there, man.
Yeah, and they're anticipating another big day today and another very highly ranked signing class. Of course, the one you were part of 4 years ago was ranked number 1. I don't know if Alabama will get there today or not, but no doubt they're going to be in the top 5. Speaking of training, and we touched on it a little bit, you've got your agent, you've got your folks that are with you, but still now already you've left college. It's up to you every day to get up and do this. I know you're extremely motivated. How is it different now, though, that you've left college and you're not you don't even know what team you're going to be on now? It's strictly you training for what you aspire to become in the NFL. How is that different from when you were in college? Your classes were laid out. Every minute of your day was accounted for. How is it different already becoming a professional as opposed to the college life?
Oh, yeah, it's a lot different, man. It takes a lot of maturity, man, to be able to wake up at 6 o'clock each and every day and be able to come out and work as hard as I do. In college, you constantly have somebody, texting you or calling you each and every morning to, get you up to either get the class or the workout. So the fact that you don't really have that anymore, and that you have to almost, in a way, watch the way you eat, the times that you go to sleep. It's so much stuff that, that I'm really banking on as far as, you know, my own life right now. Everything falls on what I do in this combine, and how I train and how I go to sleep and get all the proper sleep and all that stuff like that. So, you know, it definitely, you know, just basically challenges you to be, you know, at your peak level, you know, at all times. So, I mean, but at the same time, you know, I'm up for it. I mean, Bama, I feel like they got me prepared for this type of situation. And, you know, I feel like right now, you know, I feel like I'm taking full advantage of this training that I have.
Visiting with Rashaan Evans, his draft diary that we're doing every week here on the Gary Harris Show on Tide 102.9 and 100.9. He's getting ready for the NFL Combine training down in South Florida. All right, I know what you're going to say when I ask you about a specific team. You're going to say, Gary, I just want an opportunity regardless. But growing up, we all have favorite teams. Who was your favorite NFL team or teams, and maybe that when you were a kid you dreamed of playing for in the National Football League?
You know what? I'm going to go back to the first ever helmet I got. I think it was the Oakland Raiders. That was the first helmet I ever got as a kid when, you know, I started, you know, really falling in love with the game of football itself. I would probably say at that time I was probably in love with the Oakland Raiders. I mean, that was the only helmet that I had. So, but, you know, as I got older and older, you know, I really kind of just, you know, didn't really have a team. I kind of just liked all of the teams in the NFL. The fact that, you know, at the age that I was, you know, NFL was so far off, you know.
Right.
It was kind of hard for me to even think about, you know, being in that situation. But at the same time, it was always a dream. So, like you said, man, I'm just blessed to be able to have this opportunity and be a part of a team, be able to, you know, extend my career playing football.
The silver and black of the Raiders with John Gruden. That wouldn't be a bad deal. Hey, listen, you've got so much versatility, and I know that's something in the NFL now that, my gosh, is important. You played on the edge. Obviously, this past season, you were more of an inside linebacker. You can defend the run. You're a three-down guy. You can play in pass coverage. You can rush the passer. How important do you think that versatility will be when you start interviewing with teams and they start saying, you know, we're looking for a guy that can be on the field all three downs? You bring that to the table. How important will that be, do you think, for your future?
Yeah, I think that's very important. I mean, if you kind of think about the teams and, you know, the schemes and all of those things, I mean, when they're picking a guy, they want a guy that can be able to, you know, be flexible in his ability to play the game. And, you know, teams are going to be drafting off, you know, strictly off of need. You know, they're going to need some guys to, you know, move to certain positions or, you know, be able to play a certain position, be able to play that at a high level. And I feel like, you know, I definitely bring that to the table. I was able to do that at Bama, and you're really at the highest level of collegiate football. So, I mean, for me to be able to transition from that to the NFL and be able to do all those things that they need for me to do, I mean, I feel like, you know, a guy like me that they're drafting, they're getting the full package.
Sunday afternoon, were you able to break away from training long enough to watch the Super Bowl, and what did you think of the game?
Oh, man, it was a crazy game. The fact that the Eagles was able to pull it out the way they did, man, they fought so hard. To be honest with you, I almost kind of figured that they were going to win. It was that feeling that, you know, it was almost kind of like, you know, it was bound for somebody else to, you know, win it. So, but, you know, also kudos to Tom Brady. I mean, I kind of still feel like he's probably one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. But, you know, that's one of those legendary games, man, once again in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know you aspire to get there one day. It was a great game. Back to your training, and we've already mentioned the importance of the combine. Of course, ultimately, you're a football player, guy, you know, scouts and coaches and GMs are going to put on the tape, but the combine is important. Otherwise, you wouldn't be training so hard for it. What do you do specifically outside of football, specifically training-wise, so that you can run your fastest 40 time at the combine, so that you can bench, you know, rep 225 as many times as possible? Is there a process to build up to that point so that when on that day you're at your best? How do you go about training specifically for a combine as opposed to just getting ready for a football season?
Yeah, it definitely is a process. I feel like each and every day, you know, that you start training on something, you kind of want to have a goal, you know, each and every day of what you want to do or what you want to emphasize each day. And, you know, for me, I've just taken this process slow and just, you know, working on the little things as far as the technique and my 40 and also, you know, just with my strength and, you know, being able to do 225 pounds as much as I can. So, you know, back to the 40, I feel like, you know, if you constantly just work on the little things. And I feel like, really the 40, the most important thing about the 40 is really that those first 20 yards. I mean, if you can almost, perfect those first 20 yards, I mean, I feel like the rest is history.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for me the speed is there, but at the same time I want to be able to, be technically sound, just when it's for me that first 10, the 15 to 20, and be able to be, come out low and all those things, and just not waste any steps. And then back to 225, being able to maximize my strength and being able to rep it out as many times as possible. All of those things going to, working on, power, working on, endurance as far as, being able to do 225 multiple times. So, like I said, man, you really just want to have a goal each and every day of what you're trying to do. And I feel like once you do that, I think the goal that you're trying to achieve, eventually you'll be able to do it.
In addition to the Combine, Alabama, of course, will hold a pro day or pro days. Sometimes they do too. Neither has been announced yet. Will you, of course, you're training down there in South Florida, do you plan on participating in Alabama's pro day as well as the Combine?
Yeah, I actually want to just see how well I do in the Combine, and then after that, I'll really just go from there. But as far as, on-field drills, I'll probably definitely be doing those things for sure.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to seeing you back here in Tuscaloosa, and I know that'll be a fun time for you to get back here and visit with all your coaches and former teammates. Great stuff as always. Thank you so much, Rashaan, and we're looking forward to visiting with you again next week.
Thank you, man. Look forward to it.